Here I go again, making the same mistakes, running back to my old ways, asking where and when. Will I be done with all the games, letting my time go to waste? I've just been sticking with what's comfortable, thinking I spent way too much time building something I gotta let go. But I'm over this, getting too old for this. Gotta put myself first for a little man like you, get a hold of this. I've been on replay. I've been on replay. Oh, think we've won it out by now. No, it took me a while to figure it out. I've been on replay. You ain't gonna wear me down.
Of a Baz, I'm Ronnie Adams.
And I'm Jacob Casas, and this episode is called Replay. We're here, and I actually want you to introduce yourself to everybody.
Hey guys, what's good? My name is Serenity Lynn. I'm an artist in Los Angeles, California. I do like R&B, pop type music. So people compare me to like JoJo or Kehlani or Kiana Lede kind of vibe.
So how long you been doing that for?
I've been like making music and like actually doing stuff in the industry probably since I was like 15. I'm 23 now, so it's been a minute.
So you do all your own writing, everything?
Not all my own writing, no. I love collaborating with people. There's multiple songs I've got collaborative writers on, but a lot of my stuff I actually do write alone.
So how'd you get into this?
Into music?
Yeah.
Oh, I've always loved it. My family is super musical. My dad plays guitar and sings. My mom plays piano and sings. They've been super supportive of my music journey ever since I started. But yeah.
So House Over Baz, what we're about is splitting up the leaders, entrepreneurs from the followers, the people that just like live life like according to what media tells you, the world tells you to do. So what we're doing is we want to know who you are because you obviously split yourself from a Baz, right? You're a howler. You're a leader, which you do on a different part of reality. So I kind of want to dig into that a little bit. How did you become that person? Like where did you? How did that start?
Going through a lot of bullshit, honestly.
Can we start with you growing up? What was your goal? What was your mindset growing up? Where were you at? Like, did you think about music? Was that your first goal, your first thing that you wanted to do in life?
Pretty much. I mean, other than like being like a little kid, I think like my job in school that I wanted to do was zookeeper, which is so off the freaking
So that
wall.
was the beginning of
That was the beginning, and then I was like, why would I want to do that? Like, I've always been
You like animals, obviously.
I do love animals.
We're wolves,
but,
so it happens sometimes.
But yeah, I mean...
In the beginning was a zookeeper, and then as you got into middle school, high school,
even elementary school, honestly, that's like little kid, that's like kindergarten. I'm talking about like from there on, pretty much, just I've always wanted to do music. My mom was always singing around the house with me.
So it was always music.
She was like kind of my biggest inspiration, I guess you could say, of just starting to do music, play piano, sing.
You're multi-talented then. You can play piano and play guitar.
I play piano, I play guitar, and I sing, yes. Piano I've no longer, but I stopped doing that for a minute, and did like violin at one point. Wow. Tried to learn the bass at one point, the drums at one point.
Did you do any of these in elementary, middle school, high school?
Yeah, I mean, mainly elementary was like the violin and like piano, and then moving forward, I started learning guitar in middle school. Taught myself off YouTube University.
Nice.
And
shout out to YouTube.
Shoot, right? YouTube helps everybody learn everything, and TikTok nowadays.
Right.
But Yeah, and then I kind of got back into piano going into middle school. I can't read music like I used to in my piano lessons, but I can still chop it up a little bit.
So mostly instruments, and then singing came in after.
I'm honestly other way around.
Other way around. So singing was first.
Singing was always there.
Okay.
Instruments just kind of followed along. Mainly a singer is what I'm going to say.
Nice.
I love playing instruments and stuff, but singer is my main thing. Definitely try to have the extra triple threat vibe, though.
Wow, growing up in a music family.
Yeah.
We used to always have jam nights at our house. Our garage has been converted into like basically just a big jam room. We've got drums set up, the piano, the PA, the mics, everything. It's not a car garage. It's our jam room.
Any brothers or
So
sisters?
family. I do. I have a little sister. Her name is Heaven. She's 16. She's 7 years younger than me. So she's a little handful, but love her to death. She does. She plays guitar. She just started
Okay.
playing. I tried to like teach her some stuff, but she kind of did her own YouTube University thing too. And she did drums for a little while, but I don't think that was kind of her passion. She's definitely loving guitar more.
Nice.
I'm proud of her. She's doing her thing. I'm excited.
So we have like a list of what we feel identifies a howler.
Okay.
The top of our list is God fearing. So how does that have any aspect, like any like way of dealing with that in your life? Are you a God fearing person? Is God in your life at all in any way?
God is definitely in my life in more ways than one. I mean, I was raised Christian. I was raised in church. My Nana is the most like devout Christian woman I had ever met. It was funny, whenever I would go over there, she would make me like memorize verses for like treats or money, and like
We all had something like that.
right?
I feel like everybody had someone in their family
Oh my
that did
gosh.
that.
But I love her to death. Yeah, wow. I don't go to church as much as I probably should, but I still definitely pray every day, incorporate God in my life as much as possible. I owe him everything, so definitely God-fearing.
Can you share one of your favorite verses that Nana or that you remember?
Yeah, but you memorize it. We got to know
honestly,
right now. We're going to call you out.
It is. It's in Proverbs. It's basically. Oh shoot!
Trust
you know
in
what?
the Lord with all your heart and lean not
Yes.
unto your own understanding.
Yes, you
All
already
thy
knew.
ways acknowledge Him, and He shall direct
You
your
already
path.
got it. Yep, that's the one. Real funny. You know what? Can I just
That's
read
gonna
it?
be
Yeah,
cut
she
out
did read it.
really
What if I just
funny.
read it? Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not into your own
Can
understanding.
you look at the mic and do that, please?
Yeah,
I mean, at the cameras. Thank you.
It doesn't matter which one.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't, because he'll
Trust
say
in
it.
the Lord with all your heart and lean not unto your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him and he will make your path straight. Proverbs 3:5-6. That's my favorite verse for sure.
That's what's up.
Not just because of my Nana, but it's just definitely a quote to live by. Also, the prayer. Y'all know the Serenity prayer, right?
Yeah,
God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things that I can, and wisdom to know the difference.
So is that what you were named after that prayer?
Honestly, I don't know if I was named after it, but it's funny. My dad, I was asking him how he thought of my name. He's like, I don't know. I was at work one day, and I can't lie, I was a little high. and he was like, I was feeling really peaceful, and I just thought Serenity. I was like, all right, sounds
That's a
good.
good one. That's a
Right?
good way to explain the name. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So, leadership. Leadership's another one on our list. How are you in leadership? Because I mean, this is basically your own business.
Yep.
So I mean, do you have a corporate like named? Is this all a business? What is this?
I mean, in the music industry, you have like your own kind of LLC as far as like publishing, being a writer and stuff on like ASCAP or any of those really publishing companies. But shoot, I've been trying. As far as the leadership in life, though, and doing all that, I've definitely had to be a leader. I'm the mom of my friend groups. I'm always just kind of, they're more of the, I'm not going to say they're the followers, but
They're the best.
no, because sometimes, I don't know, I love y'all. Don't get mad at me. They're going to agree that I'm the mom of the friend group, but yeah, I feel like I've just kind of had to be a leader. I try to just be me and do my own thing and grind, because at the end of the day, who's going to have me better than me?
That's right. So on let's get back to the corporate side of your business. So what and that leadership aspect, because that's a big deal, right? I'm a business owner as well, so I understand how serious that gets. So you said you have an LLC with your business, right?
Yeah.
Did you develop that, or you have people help you with that?
I have my mom help me with that. My mom and dad. I mean, my parents help me with everything.
but you got a whole corporate thing going on with what you're doing.
Not necessarily. I wouldn't say that. Okay, hold on. I think we misunderstood. So it's through the publishing so I do through ASCAP with the music publishing and stuff. So it's not like I have my own business set up. It's basically when you kind of sign up and do the paperwork through ASCAP, you have like, your own person. It's kind of like having a company, because at the end of the day, whatever music income I get goes through that.
Yeah.
And
so it is a business still.
Yeah,
They're
but not
paying
necessarily
the
like
business.
I don't have like a business.
It's an LLC though.
Yeah.
So they still pay the business.
Yeah.
It's like a lot of other businesses. They have something similar to that. They still got a 1099 them and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
So it's a
true.
business. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, but I mean that's cool. I mean, for people that are not in the industry, it'd be good for them to know about that, because they would have no idea how to even do it.
Definitely.
So
It's
for you explaining
complicated
that's
to
really
understand,
cool.
for sure. I took some music business classes in college just because I wanted to be more educated on everything. I took those classes probably a couple years ago, right before. I think actually during when I got signed to this little label. It was a little independent label, and I wish I took it before I signed with them because I know I told you earlier, but the guy who was my manager, who ran the label, long story short, ended up sexually assaulting me, and the contract that I signed with him was for a year contract. And my naive self was just so excited that somebody wanted to sign me, and I didn't have any like lawyer on call. And he goes, "Oh, I have a lawyer friend. Like, hit him up." And never go through the person that you're signing with lawyer. Get your own lawyer. Read through everything. Know what you're signing and know who you're signing with before. Because at the end of the day, it's a very bittersweet situation, because I've met a lot of people through the whole thing that I still am friends with, that I still work with, that have helped me get a lot of opportunities. But and the negative situation, ended up shaping me, because the music industry is not a easy,
especially for a woman.
Especially for a woman, everybody wants something from you.
Yes, definitely.
Well, a lot of people in business in general want to take advantage, and when they see the desperation in you, because you're excited, you're young, you're like, I want to hit it, I want to go for it.
Especially when it's like your dream.
They're like, I'm going to get
easy.
them. We've been through
We
that
should talk
situation.
about that. That's deep.
We need to.
You know what I mean? Especially on a woman's level of being careful.
This is people need to hear. This is what we do. So it's great when you see mainstream stuff, but mainstream stuff over here is not realistic. Like, what we do is we want to show the people the real, right? Like when I've done it, I explained all the realest part of like basically crashing in business to rebuilding. You know what I mean? So this stuff, it might be uncomfortable to talk about, but this is real stuff. Like, people shouldn't be desperate to start, even be super excited. You got to read through all the fine lines of everything.
It's not necessarily uncomfortable. I'm sitting here smiling just because I'm like remembering how down in the dumps I was in that time of my life. I had moved out of my parents' house around the same time, so moved in with my best friend and her boyfriend, and that became a shit show. Literally 2 days of living there. I'm not even lying to you. We moved in on a Thursday. Friday, I unpacked all my shit. Saturday comes around, and all of a sudden the cops are at our door. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, what's going on? And they were like trying to say it was a whole we have an anonymous tip that kids are being abused here. And we're like, we're 22, 21, however old I was.
What the heck?
My dad's here if you want to talk to him. He was helping me move in. And long story short, I guess it was like a situation where they thought we were squatters. And I don't even know. I ended up they ended up kicking us out that day. They were like, y'all need to get out. They wouldn't let us back in. Had to argue with a bunch of security guards that were on the front lawn. And they ended up like letting us in to get our stuff really quick as much as we could. Tetrised it into the Prius that I had at the time. Was crying my eyes out in my car, calling my boss at Starbucks because I was like, I can't come into work in the morning, dealing with some shit right now. And I go to drive away, and my homegirl, she was like, go, you're good. Like, I'll meet up with you later. Like, I'm sorry. As soon as I go to drive off, 7 cop cars pull me over. 4 come from one side of the street, 3 from the other end of the street, and a police helicopter with searchlight. Oh my God, I'm not even shitting
For
right
what?
now. Literally, I don't even fucking know.
Still
to this day, I don't even know. So her boyfriend was like arguing with the landlord, and I guess he threatened to shoot them up or shoot them or pull out his gun or something if they didn't back up. This is his house. He's living here, and they ended up making me get out of the car on the ground, handcuffing me, like the whole night. I've never done anything illegal in my life. I've never been so terrified, but like that whole situation.
And this is during your career when this whole thing happened with the assault.
During the whole, it was actually right before that happened. So it was like at the time it was just this domino effect. I was like, dude, when am I gonna get a break? And
so you're going through it at this time.
I was going through it.
You're trying to make it. You're pushing your dreams.
And he was making so many promises too. Like, of course, like I said, I was naive. Oh my God, I'm so excited! I want to make a music video.
And he was your manager.
And he was my manager as well. So he was like, yeah, I've got this money set aside for your music video. Let's get a really good song set up. And so I was just trying to work on getting a song that was like good enough for the music video, and then that whole shit happened, and then I tried to act like it didn't happen for like probably 3 weeks, and 3 weeks goes by, and my 2 really good ass friends who were the producer and engineer in the group that we were signed to were like, Serenity, you're so much better than this. Like, please go, because we're worried about you.
They had your back.
And
damn, he was that like aggressive on it. Like, they even saw it.
They saw it, and homie even confronted my manager about it, and to the point where my manager was like denying the whole thing, and homie was like, bro, did you do this? And he was like, man, like, and then I ended up admitting to him about it. I'm like, yo, it was just this whole thing, like I said, and down in the dumps time. But right out of that whole situation, to come to a good close of the story, I wrote my first really serious single, and buckled down, got a bunch of money, and invested in a music video. And
what was that single called?
It was called Good Things.
Good Things.
The whole storyline just being that good things take time, and you got to go through some shit to get to the end of the rainbow.
Speak that.
But it's worth it. It's definitely worth it. But yeah, dang.
So how do you recommend I would say women to choose a manager now? Like, what made you choose him in the beginning, and how should a person choose a manager you recommend a person should choose?
I'll start with your second question as far as like, how did I choose him? I had a mutual friend who was friends with him, who was bringing me into the studio just to kind of meet people. And this friend was like acting as my manager at the time, wasn't really my manager. So I don't even know what to call him. We'll call him, I don't know, Jay. There's not even a J in his name. So Jay, he was like trying to be my manager, and my homie was like, nah, man, like, I got her. Whatever it was. And time goes by, wasn't talking to homie anymore, and he reached out and just had a lot of really, he said all the right things. Like what, yep, they always do. Said all the right things. That's what I wanted. We had like this whole long, like 2-hour lunch talk, and where I said multiple times, I was like, look, I know the bullshit in the music industry, and I'm not down with it. So I need you to understand, if I sign with you and that happens, I'm gone.
How long did it take you to realize you wanted to sign with him?
After that meeting, I think it was like 2 or 3 weeks later that I ended up signing with him, after like talking to his lawyer like an idiot. And
it's always so right? Even in reality, so people know this, right? if that person, that attorney, is dedicated to that person, if he's done one job
Right.
for that person,
Yep.
he belongs to that person.
Yes.
It's in their best interest always. So he will never, if you used him one time,
Yeah.
just once, it's his in best interest all the time. So he'll always be bad for you, no matter what, because he's always looking out for him.
See, I know that now.
Yeah, yeah.
See,
Yeah.
you learn.
But like
You live and you
people
learn.
out there don't know that.
Now they
I think
do.
it's good if
Yes.
people understand.
Y'all get
that.
your own lawyer, invest.
I learned that the hard
money
way
is
too.
worth it.
I was with you.
He was there. I learned that the hard way.
Oh, no.
It didn't hurt me. I actually learned it in a good way. I actually still won at the end of the day.
Definitely.
Okay.
But I learned that the hard way too. That's what I'm explaining. This is stuff people actually really need to hear. This is the stuff that that people don't know about.
Yeah.
And like
Harsh reality.
yes, but like things like podcasts like us, that's what we try to bring to the world, because they only show like the great side of things. They don't show what these people went through to get to that point.
Right.
And that's what we want to show.
No, I love that. Y'all are doing your thing. I'm glad I came. As far as the drive as it was.
So can you answer the other question? So
Oh, yes. How, what was it?
how should someone?
How should someone choose a manager?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Now, if I were to choose a manager, get to know them in real life and like what they're about. Do y'all's values match, kind of thing? Like, it's at the end of the day, you're creating a relationship with this person. So, is this someone you want to get in a relationship with? And is this somebody that you want to represent you in a way outside of you representing yourself?
You don't have a manager right now, then?
I do not have a manager right now.
I feel like, in a sense, like you should have a contract with this person.
Yeah, of
like
course
something
have a
legit,
contract.
and have a lawyer to look over the contract for the manager as well, right?
Always have a contract, because I mean, you never know what's going to happen. Make sure, like I said earlier, at the end of the day, nobody's going to have your back better than you. So you need to make sure that you set it up to where if something happens, it's not going to hurt you as
So contemplate before you decide of working with this manager for at least a month, maybe, or a couple weeks. Or,
to at least a month. Like, I would say have like a couple lunches with them. Like, have a couple lunches, you know, just kind of communicate about their life too. Don't just be like, so what are you going to do for me?
right.
Because, you know, everyone wants the same thing. So like I said, he's told me all the right things, because who doesn't want to hear
They
that?
could be using
I'm
you
gonna
just
do
to
this
make
for
money
you.
off
I'm gonna
of
do
you.
Exactly.
They've been doing that forever, though, for
Right.
actresses,
Right.
singers, any women.
And she
that
said
take
something so
advantage.
critical, get to know them, you know what I mean, what they're all about, because you might find out that, through the grapevine or something, that they in need of money.
Yep.
They might be in debt, or,
So
what
my
kind of house do
manager-
you
Or they're
have?
just trying to get that girl. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
that
They're
too.
trying to take advantage.
He represented himself as like such a family man too, and he just had a baby with his wife and everything, and like it was just a lot of drama in that whole situation. So yeah, just make sure you kind of get to know the person. Ask, maybe the people around that person,
Definitely.
if mutuals like I had.
Who
'cause
introduced
I wish I
you
knew
to
more
him?
about him.
Right.
Yeah, I wish I knew more about him for sure.
Yeah, you don't want probably the label you're
Background
signed
checks,
to be
maybe.
your manager and your lawyer. That's for sure, huh? I mean, that's probably a lesson learned for sure.
Yep.
So that gets into the next question, wisdom. So wisdom, like you probably learned a lot of wisdom going through what you went through. So you have a lot of lessons learned, right? So what would you share with the people of the wisdom you learned being in the industry you're in? Even if you want to add to what you explained to us about, the manager and things like that.
Yeah.
What do you think the wisdom and the lessons learned you've learned through this industry?
I mean, it's not even necessarily just the industry. I think because
life.
it's in life too. Because first thing, love what you do. Because I think everybody knows that if you're gonna, commit to doing something long term, you want to love what you do, and that just makes it that much better when you start making money from it. Because then it's like, shoot, I'm sitting here doing what I love.
Really?
Vroom, vroom, motherfucker. Keep it in. No, I'm just kidding.
Repeat. Start
Yeah, do that
it.
again, 'cause that was
love
good.
what you do. Start with love what you
So, love what you do, and at the end of the day, you're sitting here making money, loving what you do. It can't get any better than that. What else? Ooh, hustle, grind, don't stop. I mean, life has been lifing for me right now, for sure. And my one main priority has been mental health. Make sure your mental health is in check, number one, and my music, because
So you're in deep right now. Obviously, I can see it right now.
Yeah, I mean,
So tell us about how deep you're in it, because this is what people need to hear. So what are you going through right now in your industry and your life? What you're going through?
It's mainly just live, not a little bit the industry, but that's just because it's hard being a female in the industry and not having representation. I think that's where, you know, knowing more about the business can come in handy. But just life lately,
It's hard to push yourself.
Yeah, I lost one of my best friends. I wouldn't say lost. I had to make a boundary with one of my best friends. I'll follow that with a quote. It's basically, not necessarily a quote, but if a flower isn't growing, do you blame the flower or do you blame the environment around it? Is the sun not shining the right way? Is the water, is the soil wrong? Is the air around it wrong? Like, you don't blame the flower because it's not blooming. You're going to blame its environment, right? So I had to, check my environment, change my environment a little bit. I still love her to death. But losing, that friendship is definitely hard. My dog of 15 years just passed about a week and a half ago. So that was really hard. And just today finding out about my friend getting killed in the shooting. It's just kind of back-to-back bullshit lately. But, I know God's got me, and my music has been helping me. Just write everything. If y'all do music, write about everything. Voice note it, write it down, anything you feel, anything you're thinking, any kind of idea, because at the end of the day, you're not the only one that's going through it. Trust me. And other people want to hear about that.
Yeah, definitely, because people need to know about that. Because life always, there's so much obstacles that go through life.
Yeah, of course.
And you always got to know how to find a solution for that. There's always something, though. You can always find a solution for whatever's going on. We talk about this constantly.
Right.
Because people always think that it's the end, I'm done. They go through all these mental health, experiences, but in reality, I mean, you got to learn to control your own mind.
Yep.
And that's what this show's all about.
The best part about hitting rock bottom is the only way to go.
So
That's why I always try and keep my mindset at too. Like, as deep as I can get.
So, self-sacrificing. What kind of self-sacrificing have you had to make during in life or even in your industry?
Sleep. Sleep. Being vulnerable is another one. I used to struggle a lot with just kind of being vulnerable, which is a big thing with artists.
What do you mean? Explain that in detail.
Being vulnerable with my feelings and being able to not only share them but put them to words, because sometimes you can you feel something and you know how you feel, but you don't necessarily know how to put it to words, which music helped me with a lot. That's another one. I mean, people, obviously, that I've had to just kind of let go from my life that weren't serving me in a positive way.
They wasn't
or that
wolfing.
were taking me down. They weren't wolfing, honestly. I mean, they were wolfing just
with
negatively with their mouth. Yeah, you knew exactly what I meant.
Yeah.
But money. A lot of money, investing into myself. Being in the music industry is not easy to make money in, unless you do, a lot of different routes. I would say that. I wish I did that a lot earlier. Write for people, do sessions with other people, charge for your time, meet more people and collaborate more. So at the end of the day, you can have more revenues. Let's say you work with somebody else on a song and, that goes viral on TikTok. And then you have, that from writing, even though you're an artist yourself.
So that's what you're doing right now?
Yeah, how are you selling yourself?
Yeah.
How are you selling?
I'm definitely trying to currently work with more people, do more writing. I need to get on TikTok so bad. That's the main thing lately.
Yes, that's a good selling point.
And you sing really good. So yeah, I think you'd kill it on TikTok.
My struggle right now is I'm such a perfectionist. And I feel like a lot of artists and creatives are, but I need to get over it. it, because if I don't 110% love something, I don't want anybody to hear it or see it or whatever it is.
How you feel you perfected it, right?
Right, until I feel like I've perfected it. But then there's those times where like I have something and I'm like, maybe like 60% like it, and then I'll show somebody and they're like, this is fucking sick.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Put this on the internet right now.
That happens,
right? It does happen, because at the end of the day, maybe you don't necessarily like it, but hella other people.
But it means something to somebody else.
Exactly.
And that happens. That happens in any, I feel like in any field.
Struggle.
Yeah.
I know we're talking about sacrifices now, so let's get back to that. But like I said, money, time, people, sleep, some energy. Like I said, being vulnerable, just kind of being open to, letting out the negative in my life and expressing that to other people and not just keeping it in. Yeah.
That's good to know, because like people networking in any industry is tough if you don't know how to do it. It takes time and practice. So I mean, that's probably been like a big deal to you, because that's all your industry is. It's just networking.
Yeah, 1,000%.
So how do you network?
Ooh,
I said sell yourself, so that wasn't the right word, but for all the pervs, now we're gonna edit that, but.
Yeah, let's not go back to that. No, I'm just kidding. So networking, honestly, I used to hate it, because I was like so social anxiety. Like I would be like, I need a few shots before I start talking to people, kind of thing. Now I can still get that way. It depends on my social battery, but now I just love going to events, love going to see other people's shows, supporting other artists. There is a few like open mic type events. There's one called Something Dope, which is dope. I just went to it for the first time a week or two ago, and it's basically they have like this bucket, and whenever you sign up you get some raffle tickets and you put your name on it, and throughout the event they pick names out of the bucket, and whoever they pick goes up and performs. And
That's cool.
That's sick.
Yeah,
Not only that, it was super dope, because first time I went, my name got picked. I was the last person to perform, and I have never been in a room or an open mic where the energy and the outpouring of love from artists was so immense.
Where was this at again? I'm sorry.
It's at Los Globos. I'm not even friends with these people. I'm totally promoting them. It's at Los Globos every Wednesday night.
Okay.
And yeah, amazing thing. The other event, which is near and dear to my heart because I help curate it, is called Circle Sessions. One of my really good friends, Javon Times, he created this space for literally everybody, singers, poets, dancers, musicians. If you know who Stevie Mackey is, he's a super amazing just person, but super talented as well. He's worked with J-Lo and tons of people in the industry, but we do it at his house majority of the time, and it's just like we all gather in a circle kind of thing around his fire pit, and we've got keyboards and guitars and drum pad, and people just hop up, get on the mic and sing a song, and we've got open bar, hookah, food,
Whole session.
literally so dope, and so many really cool and important people come because of Stevie. So you end up kind of getting that opportunity to meet a lot of people. I've met Eric Bellinger.
Nice.
I've met Avery Wilson, if you know who that is. He's a super dope, amazing vocalist. Jaden B. Gray, like a lot of really dope people in the industry. So that's another one of my favorites. But just kind of going out to events, honestly, is my favorite way to network and get out there.
So question, you never thought about America's Got Talent or American Idol?
You're so funny. I have, very many times. I actually just recently auditioned for The Voice for the third
The
time.
Voice, okay.
And let me get on their head real quick.
Get on
because I basically had got to the last step, and they were like, I did the whole interview. And if y'all don't know, you don't just go on stage and go perform for these judges. You go through an open call, and then you get a call back, and then you get another call back, and then you get like a casting interview where you basically are on a video call with one of the producers, and they, what do you do? Like, what inspires you? Get to know you type shit. And I did
They
all
don't want to
that.
hear your vocals first. They want to hear about you.
But they're putting nerds
Well,
up there.
you already heard all the vocals from all the callbacks and everything you did.
Right.
And then they do the, interview after that.
Okay.
And then they were like, all right, like, just so you know, like, this interview has, like, no say over whether we bring you on the show or not.
The voice is huge.
And, yeah, it is. And I probably shouldn't even be saying this
It's all good.
because
Put 'em
it's
on blast.
what's it called? The non-disclosure agreement?
Yeah.
But yeah, they still haven't hit me back, and I'm sad about it because I was really excited. And it's been like, they were like, "Oh, you'll hear from us by the end of March."
Are you
It's
able to
June.
reach back out to them? Or?
I have.
Okay.
I have multiple times.
Now what happened? Nothing.
But nothing has happened yet. I honestly don't even know if I can be talking about this, so maybe don't put
okay.
all of that in there, just because I don't want them to be like, "Ah, you're next from everything on the show again." But yeah, I've tried it for The Voice 3 times. Tried it for X Factor a hot minute ago, and I'm about to audition for American Idol.
Nice.
So we'll see how any of those go.
Yeah.
I'll let y'all know. Because, yeah, it's definitely a good way to get your name heard, I would say.
You should get a manager before then.
Yeah.
I really think you should too.
Yeah,
I think you should get a
agreed.
manager before then.
I agree.
Start looking. I mean, I know it's a pain for that kind of stuff, but I mean, yeah, you probably should.
Start now.
Yeah.
Sooner than later. And no, I agree 1,000%.
There's a question that we ask a lot of creative people that come in here. So this is a big question. So, what is your creative spark, and where did it come from?
What's my creative spark? I honestly just think,
Because you're a creative person.
yeah.
I mean, it might seem like walking to you now, but dig deep into where that came from. Like, even during the time, like maybe you're really young, but where did it come from?
Honestly, just the joy and like the pure comfort that I feel when I'm like making something. And like whenever I'm on stage, like or in the studio creating or working with people, making music, even just singing with people, like that's truly where I'm happiest, truly where I'm happiest. And no matter what's going on in my life, whether, I just lost somebody, or I'm just in a depression mode and have been sad for 3 days and don't want to get out of the house, like work on music and I forget all about that. And that's where the drive comes from. That's why I need my music.
So it helps you get through things.
Definitely. More than anything else. More than people, more than therapy. Music helps me more than anything else.
I think we should get her to sing that verse before we keep going. I want it to go through so we can get that feeling
Let's
too.
do it. Go ahead.
No,
Let's
I
do
got
that.
you.
Let's,
you want me to like go straight into it?
Yeah,
Or want me
because
to explain it.
whatever you want to do. What do you want to do? Oh, actually, that'd be good.
Explain it first.
It should be explained, and we'll probably have to cut that to the beginning.
Yeah.
So go ahead and explain it.
All right, so my next single that's going to come out, Replay. It's basically about being, in a toxic relationship with somebody, but you love that person, and it's really hard to get out of. But at the end of the day, you gotta do what's best for you. It's that kind of thing. Like, you've been stuck on replaying the same old situation over and over, but it's time to go. Time to move on. But shoot, how does it start? Let's go.
Here I go again, making the same mistakes, running back to my old ways, asking where and when. Will I be done with all the games, letting my time go to waste? I just been sticking with what's comfortable. Thinking I spent way too much time building something I gotta let go, but I'm over that, getting too old for that. Gotta put myself first for a little man, like you get a hold of that. I've been on replay. Yeah,
Yeah.
something like that.
We like that. Yeah. So, okay, tell us about the other song that you played for us too.
Oh, Self-Sabotage Hotel. Oh, I wrote that song in like 45 minutes on the floor of my bedroom. And found
a
like
deep
a
song.
beat. Yeah, a little bit, right? I found a beat on YouTube. I was just in a creative ass mood, and it came out. At the time, I was like talking to this guy, and everything was going super good, but I just felt like I kept pushing him away. Like subconsciously, like I didn't really want to, but I kept doing shit, and I'm like, why am I doing this? So Self-Sabotage Hotel came out of that. Basically, like, a person is a heavy thing to carry.
What I was asking,
And I gotta be good
why do you
with
think you were doing that? Why do you think you were pushing this man away?
Why do I think I was pushing him away? Ooh. Because I didn't love myself enough to let somebody else love me.
Why do you think that?
Why do I think what? That I didn't
That
love
you didn't
myself?
love yourself, yeah.
Honestly, like, I feel like a lot of women just go through insecurity. Like, especially at that time in my life, I feel like I was just always begging to be loved. Just so sad. I will never beg for a man to love me again. But
You don't feel like that man loved you?
no.
So he think he was just there.
He was just kind of there.
So you didn't really self-sabotage yourself then, if you think about it.
But in a way, I have. Maybe not in that situation.
Okay, so
But
it's a lot of things in that song.
It's a lot of things in that song that are definitely true in my
could have
life.
been
Maybe
through
they're not
all.
situation.
Yeah.
But there have definitely been a few people in my life who something could have come from it, but I just didn't let it.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I believe that you said it right the first time. You never should get in a relationship if you're not loving yourself, because how can you love someone else and you don't love yourself? Yourself is the most important. It's always God first, yourself second, and then others come before you, because you can't give someone else something that you don't have or that you don't feel yourself.
See, I agree with that, but I also agree with the people who fight that sometimes, because it's like, okay, yeah, but I think it's more of like being okay with being alone too. Like,
Comfortability.
Being comfortable being by yourself is another big thing, because I feel like I mean, I'm still going through that, like trying to be comfortable with being alone. I feel like I always am just craving affection. And
So how long you been alone? I'm pretty sure people are going to want to know that. If you're single, I'm sure they're going to want to know.
I'm single, but I did just kind of get out of a relationship. Also still kind of dealing with it though, so I can't really say I'm out of it. But I'm single. We'll say that. I'm single.
So that's another thing we talk about a lot on this podcast too, like relationships. So Ronnie was a relationship counselor for a long
Really?
time.
So my head is going 100 miles an hour
right now. He's gonna counsel you right now.
Because you said, I mean, because it's to a certain degree being comfortable being by yourself.
Yeah, I'm definitely working
Let's get in this. Why don't you lay back?
Oh no, where's the lounge chair? Tell me what's wrong with me, Doc.
No, I'm not going to tell you. I don't think that. I think it's normal to try to experience a time frame of being comfortable, being alone, but ultimately that's not the goal in life. Ultimately, the goal in life is to be with somebody that you're comfortable with and to enjoy. Sometimes you have to take breaks to be comfortable by yourself and not be so needy and like, oh, I need someone, like you were saying earlier. But at the end of the day, is being comfortable with finding someone. And I know it's hard out there with everything that's going on in life, social media, reality.
Social media just changed everything.
And being a artist too, being in the music industry is also hard as hell to find.
Definitely.
Too, because they're always like, oh,
They probably get so jealous.
It's a lot of clingy people too. It's also a lot of clingy.
Someone told me this recently and goes, it takes a very secure man to be with you, Serenity. I was like, oh, no.
Because you put yourself out there, and a lot of men aren't going to want to see that anyways.
Yeah, I mean,
right?
I'm also just very social and friendly, which can come off the wrong way. I'm a Libra, so I'm very friendly, but it doesn't necessarily mean I'm flirting with you. It just means I'm nice, y'all.
but men are different. We don't take that. We don't take being nice as being nice. Most men,
That's how because other men think other stuff.
Yes, definitely.
We just saw Saturday. They think other things.
Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's different when some men see a woman and she's trying to be nice. A lot of men, majority of men is going to be like, she likes me. You know, you be nice to a man.
Baz.
You know,
The Baz. All the Baz will think that.
yes, because there's not a lot of howlers out there. You know what I mean?
they're
It's
rare.
not so a man can be like, oh, she likes me because she's been nice. She smiled at me. You know what I mean? So in that type of
Yeah, I
industry.
go through it. They're like, oh my God, yeah, you want to go out sometime? I was like, oh, hold on, I wasn't trying to holler at you.
You've been Basil the whole time. So with that, I think we should get into that because we haven't asked her about any of that yet.
Go ahead.
So I'll do. Okay, so right off the bat. So what is a howler to you? Woman, man, whatever. So what would a howler be to you?
Good
Traits.
question. Traits. Ooh, confident, driven, but also humble and selfless in a way. I mean,
Selfless.
being a leader takes, I think, empathy as well, being empathetic. I think there's just a lot of different traits that can go into being a howler. But being a driven person, like I said, confident, those are kind of the main ones.
Those are great.
They are great.
I mean, selfless, you know, is awesome.
We haven't even got that yet. That's the first time we heard that one.
Yes.
That's the first one.
That's why I said it was awesome.
I was like,
got
oh.
you.
I was like, all right,
You know, that was the first time
That was a
we've
good one.
heard that one, you know, and especially coming from a woman, you know, understanding that selfless is the most important thing, even when a woman is looking for a man. You know, she's looking for how selfless is he going to be able to, you know,
Because relationships require sacrifice.
sacrifice.
It
Definitely.
requires
For sure.
selflessness.
Yes.
For sure.
Took it right out of my mouth, but yes, definitely.
You do the best.
So what about
Taking your
Baz?
job.
Bazzing. Say that one more time.
I said, am I taking your job?
You get that? Hey, we can work together.
Nah, shoot. Nobody needs relationship advice from me. That's for sure. But what's a bass? You said. What do I think a bass
What do
is?
you? How do you? Not just a Baz. Let's talk about a Baz woman. Like, if you see a Baz woman, have you ever seen? Like, what did? Not have you ever seen, but what do you think a Baz woman looks like, or what defines a Baz woman when you hear Baz woman?
I mean, basic, bass, basic. Like, you know, like you see it all over social media nowadays. This girl's just trying to be like everybody else, like following all the trends, trying to be, you know, the Instagram model and doing all this. Like, you see a lot of copies of girls out there nowadays.
No original.
In LA, yeah, no originality. Which I can't sit here and say I'm original because, yeah, there's also people who can, you know, look at something and be like, wow, like, actually, I
critique
fuck with
it.
that. Yeah, and critique it and be like, you know, that's kind of cool. Like, I like that. But there's a difference between, you know, liking something and
Being like somebody else. Or,
wanting to be like somebody else to be liked.
Yeah.
right. To be liked. Did you catch that? She said wanting to be. Yes, that's definitely.
I think that's a big one.
We call it that bad bass energy.
The bad
Right.
bass.
That bad bass energy.
I like that. That's funny. I like that.
That's good though. So we still got some. So what? I had some other ones, but
I feel like I've been like on side view the whole time. Y'all need to get like my front view. Way better.
that got front too though.
Does it?
Yeah.
All right, say less.
So go ahead, Ronnie. I think we should get more into the what you were talking about. I think that was really good.
What's that?
Going into your counseling type thing. I liked it. I think it was good. Let's get
How long
into
are we
it.
gonna be here for?
Damn. This is how long gonna be here for. We got
only got
time.
about-
We got like 9 minutes.
Or longer than that. We got
Yeah,
about 14 minutes.
Yeah. Why don't
I still want to get into some of this too.
Okay, you go
Some about her
get into what you
no,
want to do into.
Okay.
But I think we need to go back
Go
to that.
back to that.
Because I think people are gonna feel that.
Okay.
Yeah, because it was good.
Wait, what's that? One dude, Ace Metaphor? Y'all seen his Instagrams?
I haven't.
No, I haven't.
Oh yes, yes.
The late
yes.
night talks or something, I think it's called.
But he's
He's a
big though.
counselor
He's,
right now.
he's big though.
He be speaking to those women though.
Yeah, he's big. Yeah.
He's speaking to those women. Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Oppa!
Yeah, he's big. I haven't actually got into depth with him. I listened to some of his
Oh yeah, we got
quick stuff.
But let's get into what you want to get into.
Okay.
That's a good one, actually.
What?
Let's start
Okay.
from the
Can't
beginning.
read
Let's start
all
from
over
this top though.
You want to do that one?
Yeah, let's start from the top and then go down this way.
I know. I like that last
That-
one.
that-
A lot.
Are we
Yeah,
gonna
let's do that.
spitfire?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, so back to the business. Okay, so where does your inspiration come from when you're writing your songs? Like, where do you find your inspiration? Like, what's your greatest?
Shoot, I mean, kind of just what I'm going through in the moment, I guess, is where all creativity is born, is just situations and things you go through. But yeah, just what I'm going through in that moment.
So if you had to write for somebody, you would get deep into their lives to figure out what.
That could be one thing if you're like actually in a session with the person. I know I've done that with some writers where like the first maybe like 45 minutes to an hour of the session, it's just like, what you going through right now? And just like really get into like a story of like what's happening in your life, your love life, your, mental health, whatever it is. And that kind of gets all the writers on the same page so that you're not just like, I've been in sessions where you go in and it's like everyone's kind of on a different page writing about different things. And it's like, and the song doesn't kind of come out cohesive. So that's definitely important.
So mental health is a big issue here in America. And do you think that a lot of inspired writers and song artists get their inspiration from what they're going through or where they've been in life?
1,000%.
1,000%.
1,000%. Easy question.
So we're just listening to basically, their life.
Yeah, of course. And I mean, you can also like, if you're just in a session with somebody, just be like, what do a story? Because at the end of the day, whatever story you come up with, somebody's gonna throw it. But
what did you have to go through the most, you think, in life and had to overcome?
loving myself enough to let certain people go. Like, I don't know, like I said earlier, I'm just such a lover girl, and I crave affection, I crave intimacy so much.
What about acceptance?
Acceptance? What do you mean, like?
Like,
that kind of goes hand in hand.
Right.
So, I mean, you say you love you want to love yourself, so, I mean, it's accepting who you are.
Accepting, who you are, and accepting that not everybody's going to like you, not everybody's going to be on the same time as you or want the same things as you, and...
Howard does not care.
Huh?
People like you, though.
No,
Howard
true.
does not care.
True.
You gotta, I mean, especially being, I feel like in the industry you're in, I feel like all that just has to just shrug off. Dang, that was a loud one. all that has to shrug off because, I mean, I feel like I had to like give that up a long time ago in business.
And they prey on the weak in
they
business.
They love seeing
Everyone's gonna have an opinion.
Well, no, they love seeing that like defeat, that self where you just feel like insecure. They love that. They'll feed more on it. They'll go after that. Mm-hmm. I've been in business 8 years, and they've gone after that like through and through. They want if you show weakness, they go get you. Mm-hmm. So I've seen that. So I mean, like that. You got even if you have really really good friends that you can like vent to on that, those are the people you don't show nobody else that.
Yeah.
And they'll build you up. They should be able to build you up.
This is one right here.
I've learned a lot recently, like sometimes like secrecy is everything.
You gotta keep it close to the chest.
Keep it close.
You always keep it close to the chest. Trust me.
Mm-hmm.
Trust me.
But then you gotta let it out too.
You have to,
but you have to have that one person that you go to.
Like I go to Ronnie for a lot of stuff.
Right.
I'll hit up Ronnie on the phone for a long time. You got to vent to certain people.
He got some stuff that he's told me that I've never told no one.
And I've never told anybody else.
I've got people like that too. I've got people who come to me in their situations like that. Like
Mama Bear, you 100%.
are. Like I told you, but
you're young though too.
I am young. I'm only 23. Like I'm still learning a lot. I'm not sitting here saying I'm a perfect person. I may have some follower traits. But
you're still building yourself.
I'm still building myself, still learning, still going through, the industry too. Like I'm not there yet. So there's still going to be a lot more bull that I'm going to deal with. I
feel like we should go into that one.
Okay.
That was a good one. You do that one.
Which one?
You wrote that. I want you to go to the last one.
What inspires you to be, so, I start all over.
The career one.
Okay.
The last one. I like that one.
Okay.
Your career goals. I like that
one. Okay. So, So what are your career goals in the next 2 to 5 years? What is your like expectations?
Yeah, where do you want to be?
What I want to be
Who do you want
career-wise?
to be?
Oh, I want to be Serenity Lynn. I want to be me, and I want to be making money from being me and doing what I love. Honestly, goal-wise, I would love to be a performer. I would love to be on stage, thousands of people singing my songs and helping people with my music. I would love to be writing for some of my favorite artists in the next 2 to 5 years. Those are like the two main ones for sure. But writing for some of my favorite artists, I think will probably come first, then performing.
Okay, so Serenity. Who are you? Who is Serenity?
Who is Serenity?
Why don't you tell people who you are?
Ooh. Serenity Lynn
Dig deep on this one though. Just know that
is a lover. Serenity Lynn is a fighter. She is kind and selfless and funny and smart and creative and I was getting a little deep. I almost started crying and then I was like, hold on, let me just hype myself up. But I'm a lot of things. Do you love those things about you? I do love those things about me. I do love those things. I know we were talking about earlier, like I said, I think being a lover and being a fighter are my two big ones, definitely.
You gotta be both anyways.
Yeah.
What is your fight?
Yeah. What is my fight? Oh, I deal with depression, and just fighting to keep going, like moving every day, keep doing something. Because like if I'm not being productive, then I end up just like getting deeper into it, and I'm like, oh, I didn't do anything today, or I didn't, do what I planned or set out to do today, and then I just feel like crap about it. So just kind of fighting to keep going, no matter what I'm going through in the day, what's going on in my life, and
so this has been
not giving up,
right? Not giving
on
up
my music, no matter how up and down things may be with it.
This is the Serenity Lynn we wanted to see.
Yeah.
This has been a journey for you already. You're only 23. Sorry to say your age out there, but it has been a journey for you, right?
Yeah. And it's still going to be, and I look forward to the journey. I'm not
Just the
going to
beginning.
discount
It's just
that.
the beginning.
It's just the
There's a point. Trust me, I know.
Mhm.
There's a point where everything just looks a lot better. It feels better, looks better.
You know what time frame on when that's going? No, I'm just kidding.
But you'll never be completely satisfied because you want more at that point.
Yeah, everybody wants more. You gotta be hungry.
Yeah, always.
You gotta be hungry.
You have to be hungry
Yeah.
all the time.
And you said something so critical. You said never give up.
Mm-hmm.
If that's Serenity
Mhm.
Lynn and never give up, we'll see you out there doing great things.
Shoot, y'all will see me. I'm gonna make that.
Because that first song that we played, it was deep, and that second one too, replay.
Yeah.
So you're on your way. You just have to continue to believe in yourself.
Mm-hmm. And I plan on it. I definitely plan on it, y'all. I'm gonna let you guys down.
Tell them that.
I won't let y'all down.
I'm sure you
Y'all
got
gonna
fans
hear the
out there
name.
already.
Y'all gonna hear the name. Serenity Lynn. Look out for it.
That's right.
See whatever which one that you feel will hit, and go for it. Just go hard too.
Maybe time just got away from us. Yeah, we both know it's really hard for me to trust when I get too close, when I feel too much. I push people away and I pull back from love. But it's not your fault. And I apologize if you get hurt trying to break down my walls. It's impossible. I'm always letting a good thing get away because I stay at the self-sabotage hotel. It's such a heavy weight to carry the burden of somebody else. And all these trust issues and tear-stained tissues don't help. So I stay at the self-sabotage hotel. Know this place too damn well. Sabotaging
Self-sabotage hotel. Like, damn.
I love that song.
Damn.
Watch out, Miley Cyrus.
I love Miley.
I love Miley
She's
too.
doing
I
her
grew up
thing.
here. She do her
Her
shit.
thing.
Damn.
Shout out to Miley. She's always been great.
Never cared what nobody thought.
Never.
That's why I love her.
Yeah. House of a Bass.
House of a Bass, shed the sheet. We out.
We out.